Good afternoon and welcome to EHC-TV. I'm Madi Codispoti with your feature interview. As the spring semester comes to a close, there are some changes coming within the Media and Communications Department with the announcement of the departure of Department Chair Dr. Tracy Lauder. Joining me today is Media and Communications Professor Brent Treash. Brent, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, Matt.
Yeah. So did this announcement come as a shock to you guys?
You know, it did. I think that, we like to think that everyone's going to be here forever. But I think when we kind of pull back and look at it, what we understand is that the faculty in the Media and Communication Department have a lot of real world skills that they're bringing to the classroom. So, of course, that's going to make them an attractive commodity when they look out in the more private sector, when they look outside of education. There's lots of opportunities for us to use the craft that we're teaching on a daily basis. So, yes, I was a little bit surprised that it was going to take place, but I also know that Tracy has a lot of great skills that she's going to take out into the real world that she's been teaching for many years now.
Of course. And you happen to be the newest member of the Media and Communications Department. So how does that affect you?
Yeah, I think one of the things that happens in our department is that everyone has a little bit of a different skill base. Tracy has a lot of the graphic design, persuasion, kind of those types of skills. Dr. Finney, the other department member, he's got a lot of the writing skills. He teaches a lot of the beginning courses, science communication. And my specialty is something that's in electronic media production. So I'm the only person right now in the department that kind of has those skills. So I'll continue doing those things. I'll still continue teaching a lot of the same classes that I've been teaching. I think that what will happen is that some of the things where I had skills that crossed over with Dr. Lauder, maybe some of the classes that deal with like internships, that's something I'm really passionate about. I might have some opportunities in that, but I think so much of this is going to depend on who we bring in to replace Dr. Lauder when we look at filling the 2023-24 academic calendar.
Mm-hmm. And you did mention that, Dr. Lauder was slated to teach some classes in the spring. So obviously, do you have a plan for filling those classes?
Yeah, I mean, all of this is still sort of developing so quickly, but right now we know that we have to fulfill those opportunities that we are offering for the spring semester. So the good part is that what we teach, those classes that Dr. Lauder was going to teach, like the internship class, there's lots of people. There's people in the Career Center, there's people like myself and Dr. Finney. We all have been advising internships for years, so we can absolutely fill in and close that gap. The graphic design course, we've been very fortunate to have Catherine Schranker, who's been teaching some of the upper level graphic design courses. So we're looking at potentially seeing if it's an opportunity for her to teach the lower level course as well. Mm-hmm. Now that's a little bit different. You get all kinds of different students there, but I know she's excited to work with our students. So we just need to talk with her and see if that's an opportunity. But we've had adjuncts in the department for many, many years teaching various different classes through things like sabbaticals and so forth. So those courses are going to be offered. We're going to fill those positions. Just the names associated with them right now, we have a good idea who those folks are going to be, but we just need to make sure that those are going to work out.
Of course. And Dr. Lauder is getting ready to end a nearly 2-decade-long career at Emory and Henry. So how do you think that affects just the Media and Communications Department as a whole?
Well, I think that along with Tracy, myself, and Mark Finney, we've all been kind of talking about the future of the department. I think we've all been on the same page about where this department's going to go. We're still going to be really, foundationally all about the real life skills. We want to make sure that we're training professionals that are going to go out with the skills they need to do the jobs on day one. That's not going to change. I think that we're going to continue offering the degree that we have been offering. We're still going to be teaching the types of courses that we've been offering. But the reality is that we're not going to be able to replace Tracy Lauder. She brings something special to the department. She has great experience, great compassion for the students, and I think the thing that we can say is that we can't replace her, but she's left an impact. She's left an impact on, of course, on Dr. Finney, but she's left a major impact on myself. I think that when I look at who I am as a faculty member, I have been really raised and mentored by Tracy Lauder. So I think that her legacy is going to continue. And I think she built on the legacy that Teresa Keller built during her time here as a faculty member. And I can tell you that I want to continue doing that as well. I want to continue being a place where people can gain the skills they need, but also for those students that are trying to find a home and find their passion. I think that we're still going to be so student-centered that I think that, yes, we're going to miss Dr. Lauder, but I think that the next generation of students, I think we're probably going to bring in another really talented professional, and that's just going to be a new voice and a new energy that's going to come to the department.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of bringing in a new professional, does the department have a plan for not only hiring a new professor, but also assigning a new department chair?
Yeah, I think that those are the things that we're still trying to figure out. We're literally going to be having meetings here over these last few weeks of the semester, just sort of talking about what is the timeline for that and what everyone's sort of desires are too. I think that, of course, the administration wants to hear from both myself and Dr. Finney about what our thoughts are for the department, what our needs are to make sure that they understand what we need. in terms of being able to deliver the full curriculum that we have. So none of those decisions have been made, but I can ultimately tell you that we're going to still be able to teach the same courses we're going to be offering in the spring. We're eventually going to have a department chair. And so what that's going to look like, we don't know. There's various different models that exist on campus. There's some places that have multiple department chairs. So it could be that we bring in a new person and that's the role that they play. But I can tell you that the department's still going to be able to be one of the top-notch kind of pillars of this institution. It's just going to have a little bit of a different face next year.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you for joining me. I'm Madi Codispoti. Have a great week.